So Honor recently launched the Honor 90 Lite, which is a budget smartphone. And I mentioned in my review that the phone was great from every aspect except from one, which was the price. The price didn't actually make sense, and if you go watch the video, you'll understand why. But now recently, Honor came out with the Honor 90, which is the big brother to the Lite version. So this is actually considered a mid-ranger, an upper mid-ranger phone, but I think that the Honor 90 has some qualities that kind of touch flagship, especially the display and a few other things that I'm going to mention in this video. So let's do a review of the Honor 90. Let's see if this actually makes sense from a price point and whether you should actually consider buying this or not. So in hand, we have 512 gigs of internal storage. We also have 12 gigs of RAM. This is the top spec. This also comes with 256 gigs of internal storage, and I believe this also comes in an 8 gig variant. The color is not mentioned, but the color is actually one of the prettiest colors that Honor provides in the Honor 90 lineup. Let's go ahead and see what we have inside. So we have the phone up top, which we're going to put on the side. We're going to look at the rest of the details. We have the SIM ejector pin. We have our booklet, which contains a silicone case, a familiar circle cutout. We also have a USB-A to USB-C cable, and we have Honor's super fast 66-watt charging in the box. Okay, let's look at the phone aesthetically. I have to say that Honor has been really making an effort to make pretty and good looking phones, and they have not skimped on the design of the Honor 90 because this is inspired by a piece of jewelry. It actually looks like a piece of jewelry, especially the two rings on the back, because they're surrounded by kind of like this golden rings which are surrounding the camera modules. We have a little bit of a textured back here, and I believe this is plastic, but they've done such a good job that it kind of mimics glass. Fingerprints wise, it's kind of okay because of the textured back, but it is a shiny back, so you're still gonna get that. On the sides here, we have the power button, we have our volume rockers, we have on top a microphone, and we also have our stereo speaker, the USB-C port, and the SIM port. The SIM port only supports dual SIM. It doesn't have option for a micro SD card, but I think at 512 gigs, I think we're fine. On the back, we also have a triple camera setup, which I'll discuss in a bit. We have two cameras up top, one camera down here, and also an LED flash. The phone is also curved both on the back and on the front, so it's very easy to hold. Aesthetically, it's also very pleasing. It's also pretty thin, so it's not thick at all. It has a really relatively thinner profile, so that's good. Let's go ahead and turn it on and talk about the display. Okay, so the Honor 90 has a 10-bit 6.7-inch curved AMOLED display with 120 Hz of dynamic refresh rate, and this also supports HDR10+. Honor also advertises this as having a resolution of 1.5K. Additional details about the display of the Honor 90 is that it has a 3840 Hz PWM dimming display, and according to Honor, this technology has a zero risk eye comfort display, which essentially means that this really has no risk and no strain on your eyes. The colors are also very good, and Honor 90 managed to even get a DxO Mark Gold certificate for the display. The battery here is also pretty decent. We have a 5000 milliampere battery, which is standard, and I'm glad to see that this also comes with a 66-watt charger. So if you ever feel like your battery is going down, you can charge your the Honor 90 from 0 to 20% in 5 minutes. So if you calculate that, that's around less than 30 minutes for a full charge from 0 to 100. According to Honor, the battery should also give you around 20 hours of video playback time, which is pretty decent in my opinion. If we talk about performance, the Honor 90 comes with Snapdragon's 7 Gen 1 chip. And that's not just any chip, that's actually the accelerated edition, which means that it's been overclocked a little bit. So instead of running at 2.4 gigahertz, it's actually running at 2.5 gigahertz. And this is also paired with 12 gigs of RAM. It's not really a flagship chip, but it's not a bad chip either. It is a 4nm chip, so it's very efficient. And when we did an Antutu benchmark test, it gave us over 700,000 points, which is pretty decent. These are very close numbers to what we saw on the 8 Gen 1 chip. So this is, I would say, near to flagship level. If you want to game on this phone, very easily you're able to do it. If you want to use this for heavy tasks, this is very easily going to manage those things. This is also paired with Android 13, and it comes with Magic OS 7.1. pre-installed, and that means that you also get all of Google services in case you are wondering. So talking about another area where this is a flagship level contender, and that's going to be the camera. So the cameras are amazing on all of the Honor phones, and recently I've been seeing that Honor has really been upping their game when it comes to their cameras, especially with the phones like the Magic 5 Pro, whose main feature is actually a camera. And not only that, but even phones like the Honor 90 Lite had a 100 megapixel camera, which is amazing for a budget phone. And this is actually even more than that. So this has a 200 megapixel main camera, which provides you great quality. I'm actually pretty amazed by the quality of the pictures. I couldn't believe just point and shooting without any editing. This provided very good colors, very vibrant colors as well. So I'm really amazed by this. So 200 megapixel camera for the main sensor. The only downside I would say for such a big camera or such a big megapixel camera is that the files are actually massive. So if you're taking pictures at 200 megapixel, you can expect a little bit of a space issue if you are keen on photography and that's what you want to buy this phone for. But again, you do get great quality. So it's kind of like a trade-off. For video resolution, this will shoot at 4K at 30 FPS and I think not at 60. For 60, you have to turn it down to 1080, so you'll get 30 and 60 FPS at 1080. If we look at the front camera, it's also pretty decent in my opinion, and this actually has a 50 megapixel camera, which is a huge sensor for a selfie camera. When I test out the front cameras in this lighting, it's usually too harsh and it's overexposed, but this is a really nice quality for a front camera. And this actually has a 100-degree field of view, so it's an ultra-wide camera. And this is actually integrated with what Honor calls the AI vlog camera. So this is considered as one of the first AI vlog cameras. And what it does is it takes specific aspects of videos, so the exposure, ISO, and several other things, and it's going to use AI to actually optimize those different aspects of photography or video making. So that's one of the things that Honor advertises with the Honor 90. So for vlogging, for taking pictures, selfies, and just overall photography, this is a really good phone for that. Now coming down to the price, which is the main concern that everyone has, should you consider buying the Honor 90? If you want to buy the 512 gig version, this will cost you around 2,300 dirhams, which is, I think, a bargain for what you're getting here. And if you want to go for the 256 gig version, this is going to cost you around 1,500 dirhams. We don't have official figures yet because this is not yet available. It is about to be launched in a few days. But from what I'm hearing, this is going to start at around 1,500 dirhams, going to go up to around 2,300 dirhams. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best upper mid-range phones that Honor has come out with. It is a highly recommended phone. I would actually even consider buying this myself if I was in the market and looking to buy something that provides me great performance, a great display, and great cameras, as well as great battery life. So this hits every single point that I look for in a great smartphone, and I think you guys can agree with that as well. But let me know in the comments below whether this is a phone that you would consider buying it if you are in the market, if you have a budget between 1,500 to 2,500 dirhams. I think this is a perfect phone which covers every aspect. So yeah guys, that was the Honor 90 Lite. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.